The Mother Plane. The teachings of Wallace D. Farad Muhammad, as taught to us through his messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Our Mother Plane, from the Department of Supreme Wisdom. 1. The Mother Plane is made of the finest steel in Asia. 2. It was made on the island of Nippon, Japan, in 1929, and also took flight that same year. 3. Black, brown, red, and yellow scientists built the Mother Plane. 4. The scientists did not know what they were building. 5. Her size is half-mile by half-mile square. 6. Her shape is oval. 7. Her speed is up to 9,000 miles per hour. 8. Her flying ability is 9,000 miles per hour in any direction, up or down, to or fro, in any direction without making a complete directional turn. 9. Her contents are 1,500 small circular planes, as the devil calls them, flying saucers. 10. These small planes carry three bombs each. They also shoot flames of fire. 11. The black men who pilot these small planes have been taught from the age of 6 that they are to do a special job. 12. These pilots can hit any spot in America, blindfolded, as the devil will soon see. 13. The bombs that the small planes contain weigh 2 tons each. 14. They are designed to drill into the earth upon contact, and drill from 1 to 6 miles through stone and rock, and to explode, destroying civilization or any living matter, or life, within a 50-mile radius. 15. After these bombs explode, a poisonous gas is found to snuff out the remaining life, if any still exists. 16. The purpose of the Mother Plane is to destroy the most wicked place ever to be on the planet Earth at any time, America, the Great Mystery Babylon. 17. Her position is 40 miles out from the Earth's sphere. 18. She holds this position from 6 to 12 months at a time. When this time is up, the Mother Plane comes into the atmosphere to take in fresh air for our brothers inside, then she retakes her position. 19. At the dropping of the bombs, the flames will reach 12 miles in all directions. 20. When the destruction comes, America will burn 390 years and take 610 years to cool off. The Great Mystery Babylon, America, will perish in the flames of fire. Allah will even cause the air which we breathe to ignite along with the atmosphere. Every atom will burn in and over America from a height of 12 miles down. Judgment Day. The country of America will be littered with leaflets from the sky, with readings like this: you have from 8 to 10 days to return unto your own. The time of this world is at hand. The leaflets will be written in both English and Arabic, so God, Allah, taught me. After the warning from the sky will follow total destruction by the intense heat of fire. And you such people who love America, where lying, drinking, gambling, raping, lynching, burning, stealing, robbing, disrespect of person and persons, nail painting, face painting, swine eating, public nude resorts, nude colonies, nudie newspapers and magazines, nude churchgoers, and profane language, will serve as fuel for the fire. For I declare by him who made the sun, moon, and stars, and the habitable earth for his home, by whom everything was created and himself not created, from infinite eternity, all is his name, and he will destroy every Christian from the face of the earth in the near future. It is dangerous to declare wars and opposition against God, Allah. It is foolish to think that you have the power and the skill to block God's plan. It is foolish. Today, America's government is trying to absolutely hide the knowledge of what she sees and what she hears of the truth. As God, Allah, has said to me, and I have taught it to you, that there is a plane in the sky above America, made like a wheel, which is the fulfillment of the prophecy of Ezekiel 10th chapter, 1st verse, that he saw it in a vision, that it rose up from the earth so high that it looked dreadful, and that there was nothing above it except the starry canopy. Today, that plane is in the air, and the scientists and the astronomers of America have seen it here. Mr. Cowell, an ex-general of the United States Armed Forces of America, bears me witness that it is up there, and have dotted around America's planes in the sky, her in America. He wrote a book on it and condemns America for keeping it a secret. But the government wants to make it all a lie, that there is nothing like this going on, that there is no truth to no flying saucers. Maybe there is no truth to no natural flying saucer, but there is plenty of truth to circular planes. Planes made like a wheel up in the sky. There's plenty of truth to that, and the scientists and astronomers bear me witness here in America that it's up there. The mother plane was shown to me, now 30 years ago, by God himself, Master Farad Muhammad. I have seen this plane and have sketched it many times. As Almighty God, Allah, sketched it to me, I followed the sketching of his. Today, you would like to dismiss it as a lie, but those who peep through the glass, the telescope, and see this plane, do not consider it a lie. With my own eyes, along with my wife and my sons, and my laborers with me and other people here in Phoenix this year, in May, stood and looked at that same plane dotting through the sky. An absolute man-made planet, moving at such terrific speed that you could hardly imagine it, flickering amid the stars of heaven. Out of the reaches of the devil's, fire, you can't reach it, you can't shoot it down, it's impossible. You can't go to it, you can't capture it, it's impossible. I say, my listeners, know that the doom, the judgment approaches. Know that it is time to repent. Again, the key words flying roll appear, which is an adequate description for the scout ships, circular planes, that are aboard the mother ship. The ignorant will say that the second verse should be taken on face value. But this is impossible, since the measurements of this flying roll is given by the prophet. The length thereof is 20 cubits. Note, 1 cubit is an ancient linear measure of about 18 inches, according to the dictionary. Since 1 cubit is 13 inches, 20 cubits equal 360 inches, or 30 feet, which is the length of this flying roll. And the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Ends the second verse. 10 cubits equal 180 inches, 15 feet, which is the width of this flying roll. Hence, there is Zechariah, chapter 5:1-2, we are told of a flying roll which is 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. This is a near-perfect description of one of Allah's circular planes. FBI interview September 20th, 1942, Chicago, Illinois, Elijah Muhammad, Allah has taught that the blueprints of a plane which carried bombs was given to the Japanese from the holy city of Mecca, and that these blueprints had been there for thousands of years. These bombs would go into the earth for at least a mile and would throw up earth to a distance of 1 mile, so that it would make a mountain. Theology of Time, July 2nd, 1972. In the Bible, you have a prophecy of a wheel in the book of Ezekiel. This represents Ezekiel's wheel you've read about in the Bible. They actually have it up there. It's up there now, and the devil knows it's up there. This is why he is continuing to go up there and make planes that can fly so swift that if he could discover it in the skies, he would be able to shoot a rocket at it before they would know. He's making planes to search the space with the highest speed known to his scientists. And this wheel, and a wheel that Ezekiel prophesied of, goes so high up in the air that it looked dreadful. This wheel is up in the air now. This is what they are now trying to locate from the moon, that is, if they could get a good stationary place on the moon and watch for this plane. It will drop its bombs on the earth. Its height would be about 20 miles above the earth when they drop it. They will not get too far out of the atmosphere, because they want to use the atmosphere to help guide to his bombs. When it strikes the earth, it will start drilling right into the earth, because it's timed. It has a little motor on the bomb, so when it strikes the earth, that motor automatically goes off and takes that bomb 1 mile into the earth before it explodes. The explosion sends up a mountain 1 mile high. That's a powerful bomb. Allah taught me that. That's the same type of bomb that God used to make mountains on the earth. It's the same thing. It goes into the earth with a very powerful steel motor like an air hammer. The bomb digs out nothing, it just sucks itself right into the earth like an air hammer. It chisels down into the earth. Yet, it's timed not to explode until it gets a mile into the earth. And this bomb is the type of dynamite that they use to bring up the mountains like Mount Everest, mountain range, using very powerful dynamite. It's more powerful than America's using. America uses 30% dynamite, and these people have their bombs equipped with 100% dynamite today to blast just a few mountains across the continent of North America. These mountains coming up out of the earth from the blasting of the bombs will kill people for 50 miles around from the crater and push up a mountain on each side. This will go into action when America starts using her high explosives by dropping them from the air. This thing will come out and get her. This plane carries 1,500 of these small bombing planes. Each one of the bombing planes carries 3 bombs and will take these bombs over a designated area, dropping them for covering and destroying 150 miles where they're dropped. I want you to try and understand this. I want you to be looking out for it any day. I have seen that plane. It's a powerful plane. It can dart in the sky just like what's called flying saucers. The plane measures 1 mile right through it. Allah showed me the plane. If you find me lying on what I tell you of what he said, I'll give you $10,000 out of my brother's vest pocket. If he doesn't happen to have it, I'll ask him to loan it to me and I'll pay you back. I saw this plane. This plane can move about in space so wisely, whereas their way of trying to shoot them out of the sky will never catch them because there are 4 or 5 scientists on this plane. The plane is a 1-2 a mile by a 1-2 mile. Those in this plane you may see look like us here. It can dart out of your eyesight so fast until it looks like nothing was there. You will see this plane one day because it has a civilization on it. They stay up there a year and sometimes a year and a half in that plane. It's a wonderful thing. Dreadful looking plane. I'm not trying to deceive you. I'm trying to show you what you are going to see pretty soon. I stopped drawing this plane for years, but now I think I should go back to it because they seem to be up there fixing it up to come near the earth. When America thinks that she's going after this plane, she admits she saw it. Those scientists on the plane go to rush in and change America so that she can't come forward to the plane, then she can't shoot it. Write in the paper if you want and tell the devil what I'm telling you. See if he'll try and deny it. They know it's out there. I sat down and I talked with them years ago about it. They asked me questions. They have the drawing on a blackboard that they'd taken from us when they arrested us, and I had drawn the plane and written explanations on a blackboard, and they took it to the FBI office. They have it there today. They know this to be true, and they admit to me that it is true. But I say to you, brothers and sisters, on the day when that plane is seen in the sky over America, make haste and run to some place. There'll be 2 scientists on every 2 blocks, and they'll be guiding you, telling you where to go. Everything has been prepared while we were sleeping to save us. That's a terrible thing, though. There are little dots that you see in the circle of the plane, which represents motors, great giant motors to carry this plane. That plane is like Jesus was. Jesus was a scientist, and he could tune in on you and I and tell what we are thinking. He could tell if whether the Jews would be planning to come to him. He'd tune up on them and listen to them. If they said they'd go this way, he'd go that way. That's why they never could catch him. He knew what the Jews were thinking about and knew what they were planning. Now they have 1 out of every 100 over there who could tune in on us over here and tell us what we are thinking. Think over that. We're a pretty smart people. You could do it yourself if you would take time, clear your mind, and then go into some place where no one is around you. Concentrate on nothing but that wheel or that brother. After a while, you'll hear what that brother is saying yourself, and maybe you'll hear the motors going in the wheel. It is not that we're such people that we have to wait to see everything happen before we know what's going to happen. We would not be gods if we did not know what was going on around us among other than God. There is nothing strange about a few scientists. 1 or may 2nd be in here, but you'd never know it. He'd bear me witness quickly. Yes, that this is true. Ezekiel looked up at it and said, "O wheel, O wheel." The wheel was so powerful to the man's imagination that he cried out, "O wheel." Seeing that dreadful thing up in the sky and so far in the sky, he said it looked dreadful. These things are going into action now pretty soon. The time is up for them to go into action. You and I being brothers, with me walking around you day and night with the knowledge of these things, and don't tell you, you will hold me responsible saying, "Why didn't you tell me?" I'd say, well, you wouldn't have believed me, no way. Well, why didn't you tell me anyway? Let us just disbelieve. That wouldn't have been your fault. And actually, you would be right. So I'm not going to let you come tell me that. I'm going to tell you these things now. There's 2 certain places on our earth that I'm bound to tell you about, but I was not told to tell you. Since the time is here just about to drop that bomb from that plane to destroy our enemies, I am going to soon tell you. There are 2 places on our planet that have been made for the purpose of hiding people, and they can stay there a long time, long old time, and you will never know they are there. It is not so secret that I shouldn't tell you, but I'm not going to say so this evening, because I'm going home. I will think over it and ask Allah if I should say these things, and if I should reveal to them what He has revealed to me. The revelation of the end of the world and what's said of the destruction of the people is here now, and they'll get in such a way as a surprise. As the Holy Quran refers to it, even the earth will act like a revelation has been received by her. All of these things is to make known to this world that they are not the God over the other world. This is what these things are coming to mean. Try and get out of the name of the white man as fast as you can. God said that the devil's names will be destroyed with him. God will give you and me a name that will live forever. Muhammad, that name will be here 1 billion years to come. We have names, as he taught me. Some of them are great long names, which are 3 or 4 inches long, but he said we didn't need all that name. The names he gives to us are much shorter than the old names that our people used to go in. This is where, I think, Jews got some of their long names. We also have some long names in the Bible. God and I love you so much that He sent me to tell you that which is to make gods out of you. You say, I know I will never be a god. Yes, you already are a god. I almost tremble when I see you out there fighting the devil and then go tell the devil to heal you. I want a place where your own people can work on you. If you will just follow me and give what you can, we will soon have these things. In fact, if we have 1 million people here in Chicago only give us $1 apiece, we would have $1 million every week. Then we could build what we want without begging people for it. If only we give half that much, we soon will have the South Side on the by black people. Elijah don't want nothing personally. He wants something that he can divide. The only thing I want personally is my wife. My friends, there is a lot of trouble on its way to America, and I don't want you to be the loser. America, her friends are going away from her and have become enemies. They all are looking towards America with murder. Let's go and take her. Just like the Bible teaches you there in Ezekiel. Let us go up and rise up and take hold of her, take her at noonday, any time that she is not expecting us. This is what they are talking about. You thought Pearl Harbor was terrible. Pearl Harbor would be like a gang of boys playing, compared to what they fixed up to come against America. This is dreadful to talk about, especially when you know it like I do. I know what the God plans to do to America. I know that, but I can't tell you all of these things lest you go and talk too much. Theology of Time, July 9th, 1972. This world has 1,500 little planes. It has 1,500 of them on it to drop off on America. They will go a height over North America and will drop these bombs. They will save 3 of these bombs to drop on England. It will only take just 3 of them to rip England apart. I'm not trying to frighten you to believe, that's immaterial to me. I'm only telling you what was told to me by God to tell you before these things take place. The plane will make 1 trip across America and drop her bombs, and when she drops 1, she knows the distance of which the explosion will take effect. Then 3 of these planes will be sent to the British island to take care of England. Believe in what I'm saying or wait around a few days. This plane will go above the earth 40 miles to unload those bombs on America. She'll get up 40 miles. Oh, we have jets that fly that, right? Brother, when this plane unloads her deadly destruction, you won't have no planes up there. No, they won't fly up there with your jets. They're going to get rid of your jets on the ground first. How are they going to do that, Mr. Muhammad? They'll do it like this. First thing they will do is destroy all of America's airplane bases. They will also destroy her planes that you see flying at the speed of sound. They will get rid of them first. Muhammad speaks May 25, 1973. The Bible and Holy Quran, both books, refer to the final war between God and the devil that would be decided in the sky. The white race was given the authority and power and 6,000 years to rule us, the black nation of earth, but at the end of 6,000 years there would be a great time of trouble and a great display of the signs of this final war between God and the white race, the devil. These signs would serve as a warning to us and what we may expect. And, as we see today, they are coming to pass. And all of the other signs and prophecies of such signs appearing just around that time of the ending and destruction of the world of evil, the white race, and the displaying of these signs, as Jesus mentioned some in the heavens and some on the earth, and the preparation to be made for a final battle between God and the devil. The white man has conquered both land and sea travel. The sea used to serve as a barrier against him. But now the white man has conquered her. The white man now can go over her surface in the worst of storms, and he can go through her with undersurface boats as well, submarines. Now the white man has cast his eyes into space, the sky, to conquer it, and he is doing that. The white race, having knowledge of what they may expect today, they are spending billions of dollars on space travel. He has now brought the moon to him and seen some of the stars. The main thing I guess you are thinking is, can you win against God, if God and his prophets have foretold the outcome of this battle in the sky? It is impossible for the white race to win. What makes it impossible for them to win is because they have not the power of the forces of nature, while the power of the forces of nature is in the hand of God, making it impossible for the white man to win in a war of this sort. The white man cannot win against the God on earth, so why waste billions of dollars to fight against the God who has power over the heavens and earth? Why all of this hurry to try to ascend into the heavens for a close-up peek into the planets when you are destined to be defeated? Both books, Bible, Holy Quran, prophesy of a great defeat for you. The Holy Quran refers to the heavens as being a guarded canopy and warns you that they have a flame waiting for you. Also, the Bible prophesies in Revelations, the last book of the Bible, that fire was used to destroy the white race after they ascended on the breath of the earth, air. So we see them going up on the breath of the earth daily. What is their plan for wanting to land on the moon, since they know they cannot make the moon their home? The white man would have to continue to live off the earth's air, oxygen, and hydrogen. The earth would still have to produce all their food for them. So, it is useless to think of any planet other than the earth as a home for earth people. Then, why are they spending billions of dollars just to go and look at these planets, or to try to land people on the moon? What are their plans for Mars and Venus, since they cannot live on these planets? Do they think these planets serve as great fortifications of God and they could cast their bombs on these planets and destroy them? Or, do they fear attacks upon themselves coming from these planets? No, this is not necessary. The white man is not that great in the eyes of God. The earth has all the weapons necessary to destroy the white man, and the white man cannot leave the earth's surface unless it pleases Allah, God. Allah has power over the very life veins of the body. Allah has power over the brain cells of our body. Just what do they have in mind in wanting to go to the moon, since they cannot live there very long even if they get there? It is very expensive to feed and water people on the moon. Though quite a bit could be carried there, what do they have in mind? Do they think that they could fight God from the moon? Just remember the old Bible's prophecy, "Thou may ascend above the clouds into the heavens, but yet I will bring thee down to the sides of hell." Or, "You may go on the bottom of the sea," and that they are doing today. The Holy Quran further says that whenever God gets ready to destroy a people, he opens up the heavens for them and gives them the pleasure of what they seek or lust after. And then he destroys them. The Holy Quran further prophesies that the heavens would be opened to this people and the veil of every secret would be removed. This prophecy does not mean that the white man will, after that, be able to win against God in a battle between them and God. Muhammad speaks June 8, 1973 in the battle in the sky. It is scientifically clear that the wheel, the mother plane, will be the victor due to the fact that nature has given anyone the advantage over the other, if the other is not able to produce the type of weapon that is needed to overcome the attack of that one, the enemy. When the prophet Ezekiel, Bible, saw this battle in the sky and saw the wheel, the mother plane, that would be the victor, it has encouraged us, the black nation, to have confidence in the victory of that wheel, mother plane. When the prophet Ezekiel saw the vision of this wheel, mother plane, Ezekiel became a little excited in his words. Ezekiel said, "Oh, wheel! Oh, wheel!" The Savior affirmed it. The wheel, the mothership, is one of the greatest wonders of man in making military weapons. The black scientists knew at the time that they built the mothership, that the mothership and its well-trained crew would have to fight with her and the other nations of the earth. The well-trained crew of the mothership, the wheel, can dodge the enemy and make the enemy to look for the wheel, where the wheel is not. As the word goes, the crew of the wheel can elude the enemy anywhere in the sky that this crew desires to elude them. When actual fighting has been declared against the armies of the planet Earth, the enemy will never get near enough to do any harm to the wheel. Actually, the wheel, the mothership, serves as a carrier for 1,500 deadly prepared planes with which to visit mankind on planet Earth. Do not look for the wheel, the mother plane, because it is not out there for you to find it where you are looking for it. I am so happy that Allah, God, has prepared this unmatchable weapon to save us, the black people. It carries supplies for the crew of this made wheel-like plane. It is something to marvel at. The battle in the sky. As the black man has been on the planet Earth for billions and trillions of years, and the black man has been here that long, and there is no doubt about it. Do you think that the black man will allow the made man, the white race, that has been on the planet Earth for only 6,000 years, to outwit the black nation in any war, whether it be physical or mental? If I was the white man, I would just give up and not try to fight and old ancient people who were here before the white man's father, Yaqub, thought of making the white race. There is plenty that we will be discussing about this wheel in the battle in the sky. Muhammad speaks August 3, 1973. What can we expect at the end of the war, paradise or hell? See Bible, Dan 9:26-27. And at the end of the war desolations are determined, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. This is like saying do not expect healing ointment to be poured on the sore that has been made. You will not get healing ointment. Instead, you will get a worse sore. With trying to find a job for the unemployed soldiers who are returning from the war zone, if they have a chance to return, this will be one of the worst headaches for the government that she has ever received. With unemployment mounting so fast, it will create revolution. And everybody will want to divide the government up into pieces, and every leader will want to grab a piece, for his part, to try to muster some kind of government, patterned after his own way of thinking. Desolation. If we are going to suffer deprivation in a country that has been the pride of the nations, this will make it altogether worse, for everybody will be thinking about the way that they used to live, and the freedom and the privileges that they used to have. And this will make anger rise up in the midst. What I am trying to show you is that the prophet Daniel cannot be wrong, because this desolation that is determined to be poured on the most desolate is aimed at the place in which we now live. And just remember that you cannot expect paradise here when such condition of desolation is headed toward America. And since we cannot make prophets' words other than the truth, we expect this desolation, and we are receiving this desolation now. And the way to hasten such desolation is to confuse the heads of government. And if we see this confusion of the heads of government as plain as the five fingers on our hand, and if we have only on one finger on our hand, we can see that the government is confused and cannot find a way out, and peace with itself daily and nightly, we see and hear what they are doing. It is a confused time of the governments, of which the citizens look to for guidance. And how can the head guide if it is not at peace with itself? Everybody regrets talking about the woe that is heading toward America and the woe that is in America. But America brought this woe upon herself by not doing justice to her black slaves. Allah, God, wants to pay America for her injustice to her lowly black slave. Allah, God, is not bringing this woe on America because of her injustice to nations outside of America. He is paying America for her injustice to we, the poor black man in America, the black slave. America has not received much woe yet for how she killed outright the poor black man in the South, Georgia. America has hated her black slave worse than she hates rattlesnakes. America has given her black slave every evil and indecent name that she could think of, while yet her black slave has been her safety ground. America does not want to admit to her trouble, for her black slave is still here. But there will be no jobs for anybody. One calamity after another befalling America. When she thinks that one calamity is going out, another is just entering. These constant calamities will continue until America is on her hands and knees admitting that Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Every prophesy of the prophets, prophesying of destruction, is aimed at America. This is dreadful and awful trouble that is divinely focused at America. I say to you, my black brothers and black sisters, seek refuge in Allah. Fly to Allah. Come follow me. I ask you to help me, to help you. But you would rather see your money fall dead in the white man's hands than to offer it to me to try to help make some bread out of the earth for you. Remember, the end of the war desolations are determined. Keep waiting with your disbelief and doubt. You shall soon come to know that what Elijah Muhammad has said to you is most certainly the truth. Muhammad speaks August 24, 1973. This is a continuation of the deadly will plane, the mothership, that the prophet Ezekiel had a vision of in the first chapter of the book in the Bible, which is entitled by the name Ezekiel. It has been over 2,000 years since the revelation of the book entitled Ezekiel. In this article we are about to go into the analyzation of Ezekiel's vision of a great wheel. The Bible scholars are a little confused over an exact date of Ezekiel's vision of the wheel. Some of the Bible scholars are actually doubtful whether or not there was an Ezekiel, living or not. They arrive at their various conclusions concerning the book of Ezekiel and whether or not he was a living prophet, or whether the book of Ezekiel is a vision of a prophet or not, because of the style of the writing of the book. Ezekiel is called a priest in the chapter 1, verse 3, Bible. In Ezekiel 1 verse 1, Ezekiel said that he was by the river Chebar, in the land of the Chaldeans. Ezekiel refers to the Spirit of the Lord, and the hand of the Lord being upon him. In the same, chap 1:4, Bible, Ezekiel said that he looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself. This fire that Ezekiel saw coming out of the north enfolding itself cannot refer to anything other than the nations of the north being united together. Ezekiel, chap 1:5, and out of the midst of the fire enfolding itself came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and the appearance of these 4 living creatures, they had the likeness of a man. Since there were 4 living creatures, Ezekiel should have said that they had the likeness of men. But, instead, Ezekiel said they had the likeness of a man, singling these 4 appearances to be referring to one man. Ezekiel, chap 1:6, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. A calf has a split foot. And they, feet, sparkled like the color of burnished brass. As Ezekiel has reference to a man having a cattle-like foot, this would actually refer to the man's rate of speed of travel. A calf cannot travel very fast. And the split hoof would show that Ezekiel is referring to a people who have not been able to move fast, due to their traveling being impeded by an unlike natural way. If this is reference to a man, and the man has a calf-like or ox-like foot, this is reference to the slowness of the black once slave whose foot was shackled by his white slave master to keep the slave from running away from his master. The striking of stones by the feet of animals have been known to give off sparkle, and this sparkle like the color of burnished brass. This shows that the treading of the man. Wherever he treaded, the man produces valuable metal, like brass, or is smelted, made, and used for the building of civilizations. Ezekiel 1 verse 8. And yet this man with animal-like feet has the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. Ezekiel 1 verse 9, their wings were joined one to another. If it is referring to the wings of a plane, then the analyzation is clear, even to being joined one wing to another wing. There, Ezekiel 1:10 plainly ekes out to us something to give a better analysis of his vision, for he said, as for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man. If Ezekiel is talking about a man, we can get onto the straight way of giving his vision some likeness to the people, because Ezekiel is not altogether talking about metal, wood, iron, and animals. Ezekiel chap 1:10 shows we now have to go and change what's referring to other than man is really referring to man. Ezekiel also says that they had the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left, and the four also had the face of an eagle. Muhammad speaks August 31st, 1973. This description of the face means that the people and their character is like a lion, and their flight is like the flight of an eagle. The lion is the most fearless of all of the beasts of the jungle. The lion is the most fearless of both animal and beast. And the people, the black people, when once fear has been removed from them, they take on the characteristics of a lion. As Ezekiel says here in chap 1:10, the four creatures had these faces, the face of a lion on the right side, and the face on the left side was like an ox. Since the lion is fearless and quick, he can attack instantly. This is referring to the black man. And as his face is as an ox on the left side, this refers to the strength of the black man when it comes to his enemy. The black man's enemy is said to be on his left side, because the enemy cannot be said to be on his right side. His enemy must be on his left side, therefore, on the left side is where the black man needs force and strength with which to remove his enemy. So, the black man is pictured as an ox on the left side, because he must be powerful enough on his left side to defend himself with strength and power. Ezekiel chap 1:11 says that the wings were pointed upward. This means that the black man has to go up in order to attack his enemy. The battle in the sky, because the black man and the enemy of the resurrection will settle their differences in the air. Ezekiel foresaw this. As you notice, Ezekiel chap 1:11 gives the description of these wings. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies, having about 6 wings. These represent planes. Ezekiel chap 1:12, and they went every one straight forward, whither the Spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. This means that the creatures were given certain orders, and they did not disobey the orders that were given to them. Whither the Spirit was to go, they went. This means that where the true Spirit of God and His Word was intended to go to a people, these cherubims, angels, were the carriers of the Word. Ezekiel chap 1:13, Ezekiel said, "As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, the people." This fire going up and down among the living creatures, people, this refers to the anger of the creatures, for Ezekiel says here, chap 1:13, "And out of the fire went forth lightning." This is true of nature. But, as this lightning here is from the living creatures, the people, it could refer to the swiftness of a bomb, which is like lightning. Ezekiel chap 1:13, "And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of flash of lightning." As they have swift ways of moving from the wheel and into the wheel and to the casement, then they are prepared to go in and out of the wheel, mother plane, like lightning. For if he goes outside to drop a bomb, he must hasten himself away from where he dropped the bomb in order to keep the enemy from attacking him. Ezekiel chap 1:15 says, "Behold, one wheeled upon the earth by the living creatures, with his 4 faces." This 4 faces could represent the color of the people that the wheel and its crew seeks to defend, as we have races black, brown, yellow, and red. These 4 are the major colors of the black man. Ezekiel chap 1:16 says that the wheel was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Ezekiel chap 1:17, this wheel went upward upon their 4 sides. This means that the wheel could fly either way. On either side of the wheel it could fly. Ezekiel chap 1:18, as for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them 4. This verse means that the knowledge of the 4 nations was like faces full of eyes, and every direction that you look at them you see faces with eyes. Muhammad speaks September 7, 1973. These faces represent the 4 nations which make up the black man. It means that the Spirit of God is now covering the nation of the black man. In every direction it is the face of God, and the Spirit of God, moving into the people, the same as the spirit of Yakub, the maker of the white race, the devil, moved into all of his newborn creatures, people, that Yakub was grafting. In Ezekiel's vision of the wheel, Bible, the people on the wheel were referred to as creatures, and every move by the wheel and the people of the wheel was of a swift movement and of a direction that was made by God himself, for them. And they had the Spirit of God in them. They are referred to as living creatures. The limitation of their lives, their lifespan, is not mentioned. Ezekiel chap. 1:19, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Ezekiel chap. 1:20, whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went, thither was their spirit to go, and the wheel were lifted up. The wheels mentioned here could even be referring to people. Wherever they, the wheels, the people, when it was the purpose of Allah, God. We take the Spirit here to mean the aims and purpose of Allah and that faith for carrying out his aims and purpose, as we understand, from what we read of this wheel. The wheel is in fact a ship, plane, made like a wheel. And it is made for the purpose of Allah, God, carrying out his aim upon this world. This wheel is by no means to be taken lightly. After the wheel has done its work, it will have made way for a new world to be built under the eyes and guidance of Allah, God. The wheel is so wonderful that even the prophet had to declare it in these words, O wheel, meaning that he is admiring his vision that he was receiving from Allah, God. The wheel is the most wonderful and the most miraculous mechanical building of plane that has ever been imagined by man. The planes on this wheel will be sent down, earthward, and are capable of destroying the world almost at once. The wheel, the mother plane, is capable of carrying many people in it. The wheel is 1 mile by 1 mile in size. The wheel is capable of sitting up above Earth's atmosphere for a whole year before coming down into Earth's atmosphere to take on more oxygen and hydrogen for the people who are on this plane, the wheel. Oh, she is a wonderful thing. The planes that she uses to send earthward are so swift that they can make their flight and return their plane to the wheel, the mother plane, almost like a flash of lightning. Oh, wheel. Think over it. After trillions of years, should we let a baby, only 6 months old, 6,000 years old, outweed us? This I say to those ignorant people of mine. I do not say this to the white man, for the white man knows, too. But it is our black people who the white man is desirous to keep dumb to the power of our God, Allah. But think over it. If the black man created the heavens and the earth, and the black man did create the heavens and the earth, then what man is fool enough to challenge the black man? But, in a twinkling of an eye, Allah, God, can take away the heavens and the earth, not to think over few little people just made 6 days ago, 6,000 years ago. O wheel, the greatest, most miraculous plane ever built. There never was such a plane made before this wheel. There never was a need for such a plane before now. You may wish, Mr. Enemy, that you could get a shot at the wheel with your jet planes and other military weapons, but you should just go home and go to sleep. No one can harm this plane, the wheel. They are going to fix you up first, before the wheel ever comes into sight. You cannot live on the moon, only just so long as your oxygen and hydrogen last you. The moon is about the closest platform that I know of that you could probably try to use. Venus and Mars, you cannot use Venus and Mars. The people on Mars will not let you land on Mars. If they do let you land on Mars, they will be silly to do so. You would like to see what the people on Mars look like. That is not, say, impossible. O wheel, the greatest mechanical defender, powered by the Spirit of Allah, to protect us, the black people on the face of the earth. Muhammad speaks September 14th, 1973. Because of the great and powerful work of this great wheel, it lifts up wheels, people. This lifting of wheels could be referred to as small nations of the black man nations who have been crushed by the wheel of enslavement, by the white slave masters. Ezekiel, chap. 1:21, the unity of the wheel. When those went, these went, and when those stood, and when those were lifted up from the earth. Which means people to be lifted up to higher places of position in the human families of the earth. Ezekiel, chap. 1:24, the great noise that Ezekiel said he heard, and then they, the wheels, went. I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech. This gives us the knowledge that His is the work of the Almighty, and the last days the work of lifting up the people who were under the foot of others. Ezekiel, chap. 125. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads, when they stood. Here, Ezekiel did not tell us what the voice said. He did not give us the answer. He only said that it was a voice from the firmament. Muhammad speaks September 21st, 1973. We continue, from last week, the analysis of Ezekiel's wheel. In Ezekiel, chap. 125, the prophet Ezekiel described winged creatures that he saw. Do not be foolish enough to think that these creatures that Ezekiel describes, and which he refers to as living creatures, have feathery wings. They did not have feathery wings that they let down. In this vision of the wheel, or plane, this plane is built so unlike the other planes that we could call it a mystery wheel to what we had heretofore known. Ezekiel, chap. 126, and above the firmament that was over their heads was a likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it. In Ezekiel's vision, the voice that he heard coming from the firmament that was over their heads, this really is referring to the future of the work of plane's master. The voice is the voice of the master of the plane. And the voice is described as being above the plane. If the voice is heard above the plane, then what was the voice in, or on? Was this voice on another plane, or on another wheel? In verse 26, Ezekiel, chap. 126, Bible, Ezekiel describes seeing something above the wheel, plane, in his vision something, a throne, as having the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon this stone that was the likeness of a throne, was the likeness as the appearance of a man above it. Ezekiel, chap. 127, and I saw the color of amber as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about it. Ezekiel, chap. 128, as the appearance of the bow, rainbow, that is in the cloud in the day of rain. As Ezekiel says, with the appearance of a man with all of this science on him and the dividing of him an upper and a lower part of him, he said, it was as it were the appearance of fire, from the first description of the wheel. It teaches the reader that the wheel is designed for war purposes. The wheel is one of the most mysterious wheels that the world has ever dreamed of in the way of military science. I say military science. This is exactly what the wheel is. It is a wheel that is made to do military work. By what Ezekiel said now about the appearance of it, there is no doubt about the interpretation of this wheel. That is military built for war purposes, and that the wheel is guided especially by the desire of God Almighty. As we continue to analyze verse 28, Ezekiel describes the frightfulness of the wheel as the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. This brings us into divine spirit of God in the making of the wheel. So much proves the wheel to be divine work, that Ezekiel, in the 28th verse, said that when he saw it, he fell upon his face. But Ezekiel said that he heard a voice of one that spake. Note how Ezekiel gives this to us, one that spake. What one that speaks? We all speak. Ezekiel, chap. 2:1, and he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. Here comes to us that a divine mission is going into the interpretation of the plane, wheel. Ezekiel adds, He said unto me, Son of man. This refers to a prophet of God or both in the wheel taking it over. And God advises the Son of Man, prophet Ezekiel, to stand upon his feet, for in the verse above, Ezekiel, chap. 128, Ezekiel said that he had fallen upon his face. The Spirit of God entered into Ezekiel and set him on his feet. Ezekiel, chap. 2:2, this is the mission of the prophet of God. And the God must make the prophet who he has now missioned aware of the protection against the enemy and the warring work that will be carried out by the wheel. Ezekiel chap. 2:3 says that Ezekiel is sent to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation. Ezekiel chap. 2:3 describes them to be impudent and stiff-headed. This verse is referring to the black people in America. But the black people in America must be warned whether they will hear or not. They are a rebellious people called a house, which means a nation, Ezekiel, chap. 2:5. They must be warned regardless to what type of people they may be. They must know the truth. Yet shall know that there has been a prophet among them, Ezekiel, chap. 2:5. They, the black people in America, must be warned as all of the people of God were warned the same. They are terrible people. They are dangerous people, as the prophet is warned, Ezekiel, chap. 2:6. Be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. They speak stout words, disgraceful words, against the truth and the truth-bearer. Ezekiel, chap. 2:6, continued, Be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house, nation. It is the black man in America who is described here in this scripture. This is what he is. He is like scorpions where the messenger of God, prophet, is. This is a terrible thing, but you have proof of it here. He, the messenger, is warned that he is living with people who are like a scorpion. A scorpion will sting and he will bite. A scorpion will do both. Be not afraid of their words. They are always planning and saying evil and anonymous things against the messenger. They look like they are very dangerous, but the messenger is not to be afraid of their looks. The messenger must speak the words of God to them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. Ezekiel, chap. 2:7. The messenger is warning you. Here is what God said to him. Ezekiel, chap. 2:8 tells the messenger not to be rebellious like that rebellious house. People, open your mouth and eat that I give thee. What the mouth of the Lord give thee? Ezekiel, the messenger, saw his mission coming to him in the roll of a book, Ezekiel, chap. 2:10, and he spread it.